Alright, Goodfellas RC Club back at you with another review here, a little unboxing. I call them unboxings. The box is already open. You can see the car. I want to tell you what you get with the box. You're going to get an instruction manual here, which is actually kind of nice. The car does come ready to pretty much go except for your RXTX and the battery. But when you look in here, it's going to show you basically how to disassemble and reassemble the car, which is kind of nice for an RTR. I mean, I know there's a lot of manufacturers out there, they'll send you an RTR, but you have no idea how it comes apart or goes together. But this all has nice detailed instructions on how it comes apart and goes back together, so that's pretty nice. Also came with a list, I'm guessing, of the normal parts to replace, or the upgrade parts maybe. Got your belt numbers, some bearings, and all that stuff on it, so that's kind of nice. Also came with a wing kit, I guess, so you can mount a wing on the back of it if you like. I kind of like it without, but that's just me. But yeah, let's get into this thing. This is a Mission D from Hobbyking. It comes from apparently a company. Let me move this car real quick, bring the box over. Called Snow Panther Hobby, which never heard of, but it's one of those off-brands we're going to take a shot at and see what it's like. There's nothing on that box that tells you what's in the box, so unlike all the other manufacturers that like to post all kinds of pictures and what's in it, it doesn't. But this is what you get. You get this neat Nissan Skyline. It's got a Lexan body on it. Feels almost kind of rubbery. It's real flimsy. It's not a very thick body by no means. It's not a Proline or any of those other brands. So, but for $100, it's pretty decent looking. And I will say it does have it comes with the protective coating still on the car, so you can peel that off when you get it. So that's nice of them to leave that on there so nothing gets jacked up in the shipping. But there's what it looks like underneath, minus this battery tray here. That piece slides in there and you got two pins hold your battery in. Anyways, let's take a look at this thing. First thing I'm noticing offhand is the shocks are aluminum. They are threaded, so they're fully adjustable aluminum. I'm assuming they're oil filled. It's got a nice big bumper on it. Looks like it's going to be able to take a little bit of impact. It does have a brush motor in it, and it looks to be a rebuildable brush motor. The servo on it has absolutely no tags or anything on it, so who knows what brand it is, but it's a drift car. We don't need a whole lot of torque, so I'm sure it'll be fine. It's belt driven, as you can see. Tire compound is really hard. I can barely get a nail to kind of dig into it a little bit. The biggest thing I see that I don't like is going to be this battery ESC plug here on the end. I don't have anything in house that'll fit that. Why these companies just don't start putting Dean's or a Traxxas plug, at least a Dean's plug. I understand the Traxxas thing, that's Traxxas vehicles, but put a Dean's on it. Everybody's got Dean's plug batteries. Even Axial puts Tamiya plugs on everything. I don't get that either. But it looks to be pretty decently made. Plastic feels pretty stiff. I don't think there's going to be much flex to it. It's might be on the brittle side, but again, it's a drift car. It's not like we're going to bash it and jump it 15 feet in the air. It's got steel CVDs on it, front and back. All your carriers and knuckles and your direct drive here coming out of it, it's all in plastic, which, so I'm not real sure how that's going to hold up, plastic with a steel CVD, but we'll see. It's, again, drift car, low torque on it. There's not a lot of pressure going on it, so it might be alright. It's got these nice rims on it, though, and they got the brake caliper and rotor inside of them. It makes it look a little bit more realistic. That's pretty cool. One thing I noticed here, that the way this belt mounts up on it, is that this little plastic cap, I don't know if it's supposed to just be loose like that or not, but I noticed it does not like it to stay on. I've had this out of the box already and just kind of looked it over. I haven't drove it or anything. But I noticed that little cover there that holds that belt on just seems to want to pop off there. And I think maybe a drop of CA glue, or it may just stay on there itself once you get it running and that belt straightens out. I mean, I actually popped it off there, so that it may stay on. We'll see. One thing I did notice, this battery tray is awful small. I have my 2-cell Traxxas ID battery here. It will not fit. It won't even begin to fit. I might have enough clearance if I take this cover and this one off, because this middle section here is a tad bit taller. I might be able to get it to slide in there then. The length of it's alright. I mean, I can fit, it'll definitely fit in there lengthwise, but the height of it's a little on the narrow side, so we'll see. I notice this servo's only got 2 screws in it instead of all 4 of them. But again, it's a drift car. There's not going to be a lot of pressure on that servo, so it's probably fine. I don't know if you can see this in the video, probably not, but it's actually got screws on each one of these arms, and you can actually adjust how far that arm goes down because it rests right up against the body. It's actually, that screw actually hits right here, right at the edge of that chassis on all 4 corners. So you can actually adjust that where you can make that dude just barely off the ground, or you can back that screw out and let it come all the way down and hit against the chassis. But again, we'll get a battery. Well, we'll solder up a new end on that, and we'll get a battery in it one way or the other, and we'll get a little running video of it. I'm not the greatest drifter. Matter of fact, I've only owned 1 drifter, so it ought to be interesting. But I've had reports from guys that do drift a lot, and they tell me that this drifts just as well as some of their several $100 cars. With that said, though, we don't know about the longevity of it or anything, but out of the box, it's supposed to be a pretty good little drifter for the money. I mean, it's $100 shipped. I think total it was 106 and some change. So there you have it. That's a little unboxed video, or just quick take on what I see on it, and what I like, what I don't like. I mean, it looks pretty slick coming out of the box, so we'll see if she holds up when we test her out on the track. We'll be back at you in a little while, fellas. RC Club back at you here. We're going to see if this thing can drift and see what she does. So let's take her out. She looks like a pretty good drifter, guys. As you can tell, I'm not the greatest drifter on here. But I'd say for $100, I'm gonna have some fun with one of these. Alright, before I run the tires off of it, I say all in all, you're getting a pretty good drifter for $100. I mean, I'm not a drift guy, so to me that right there was a lot of fun. I'm probably going to have to pick me one of these up. So there's your review, a little running video of it. Somebody's fixing to get this here in a minute. I'm going to do a raffle on it and do a drawing for the guys that chipped in for me to do this little review on it. And we'll give her away shortly, fellas.